So, I just watched the Square Enix TGS 2021 presentation, and I have to say, I was very disheartened that they had nothing to show for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 or Final Fantasy XVI. Those were the games that I was really excited and looking forward to seeing any kind of new footage or updates for. With that bit of disappointment out of the way, they did show off several games that I am very excited for. So, today, I'm going to go over the 6 games I am most excited for. Starting with number 1, Forspoken. So in this game, the main character, who is named Frey, is somehow transported from a world, which is much like our own, into a fantastical world, with gorgeous, vast open spaces, and equally large structures. The game has an emphasis on travel, and the way that Frey jumps, glides, and ziplines to traverse the environments looks snappy and fluid, and most importantly, it looks cool. The combat? It looks intense and full of spectacle, with Frey tossing a variety of spells to down her foes, some of which had really huge explosions. While not much is known about the story, they said it will have an emphasis on narrative. I am really looking forward to giving this game a try. Next up is Triangle Strategy. I was a huge fan of Octopath Traveler. It is one of my favorite turn-based JRPGs, and was one of my favorite games of 2018. Now, we are getting this team's spin on tactical JRPGs, and it looks amazing. I love the graphic style. It's what they call HD 2D 3D, and it really appeals to me. Final Fantasy Tactics? That is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. I love narratives that are political, full of betrayal and plot twists, and this game seems to be going in that direction. What has me really excited is that they said they will have branching plot lines, which is something that Tactics Ogre did really well. In that game, you could become king, or be the leader of a revolution against the crown, and depending on your actions, different characters would join your cause, or become your enemies. There were many narrative deaths, depending on your choices, and I really hope Triangle Strategy is just like that. Just a bit of a side note, I did give the demo a try, and the gameplay was really fun, so yeah, I am really excited to see what this game has in store for us. Next is Final Fantasy VII, First Soldier. Not exactly the Final Fantasy VII announcement I was hoping for, but it beats no Final Fantasy VII announcement, right? So, let me start off by saying I am not a fan of Battle Royale games. I don't care for games on my cell phone, and yet, this game has somehow made me want to give it a go. The combat, it looks pretty fun. The way that they jumped around the battlefield looked pretty cool. The different jobs, they looked interesting, and some of the costumes that they showed off were pretty cute. The game is free with in-app purchases, so that is already giving me some red flags. But it is free, so there is no harm in giving it a whirl, right? And the next game that caught my eye was Chocobo GP. So yeah, I love kart racers. I was a huge fan of Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, Crash Team Racing, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed 1 and 2, and this game looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It has all the staples that make kart racers great. Power-ups, drifting, the tracks look interesting and zany, and the cast of characters are colorful and fun. I never tried the original, and maybe someday I'll remedy that, but I am certainly looking forward to playing this one. Who doesn't want to race around on tracks inspired by different areas from Final Fantasy games? So next up is Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. So this is shaping up to be a fantastic game. They have another demo out, and it's a blast to play through. They have a whole new area for us to explore, and it's been really good. The combat, well, it's very engaging. It's satisfying to steal enemy abilities and just throw them right back at them. The execute? Well, it feels really good, and more importantly, it's snappy when you use it. And all the jobs have thus far been really fun to play with, and they play very differently. That's not very surprising though. Team Ninja does a really good job with these types of games. I almost forgot to mention the boss fights. Well, guess what? Those have been really fun as well. As a fan of Dark Souls and Nioh, I am very excited to play through a Final Fantasy version of that genre of game. The trailer they showed off had me really excited. We saw some events from Final Fantasy I playing out, and I am really looking forward to seeing how this game interprets more of those scenes. So yeah, if you have a PlayStation or Xbox, you should definitely go out and give this demo a try. Finally, we have Dragon Quest X Offline. I have wanted to play Dragon Quest X ever since I first saw footage of it in like 2013, and it's remained a Japanese-only game for all that time. Naoki Yoshida, the man who was able to save Final Fantasy XIV from ruin, was also involved with this game. That makes it even more appealing for me to play. Unfortunately, it still hasn't been announced for a release in the States. I really am hoping that the game sees a release here. They have released so many other Dragon Quest games in the States, and now that it's offline, I think it could do very well here. So those were the games that have me really excited. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get any new information on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 or Final Fantasy XVI, but the stuff that they showed was still pretty exciting. What did you think? What games have you excited? Anyways, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.